If you're going to be riding electric skateboards, electric bikes, electric anything, even just a regular bike, safety is paramount, and safety gear is too. Today we're going to be taking a look at some really nice gloves from XBOARD. They're called the Lanaite. Welcome to the Vapor Trail channel. I'm Tony. Yeah, today we're taking a look at some gloves from a company called XBOARD. They're called the Lanaite. I started talking to the owner on Instagram, asked if he could send a pair over here for me to check out because I told him this is what I wear for wrist protection. And of course that doesn't cover your hands. And I tell you, I wore a set of these on my first electric skateboard accident, crash, whatever you want to call it. I'll get back to this in just a second. But yeah, he is super passionate about everything that he does. He's got jackets. He's even working on a board that he's been working on for a couple of years. I think it's called the Legend. And he asked if we could do a video chat because he cares that much about the product that he wanted to go through all the different features with me. So I knew everything that was on them. And I probably still miss a couple because there's a lot going on with these. These ship out of the US, although the owner is a French guy, which, well, there you go, Lanaite. I believe it's New Jersey where these are shipped out from. So the website says, everyone loves our X Glove V1, so the Lanaite were aimed to really impress. They designed their own puck and created a unique injection mold. What this does, the multiple mini X pucks give more dexterity as well as more surface protection for the lower palm and wrist. This design allows for better sliding stability upon impact and improved shock absorption. So the thing is, usually with gloves like this, especially, they're used for downhill skating, you're gonna have one large puck right here, right? Well, what does that do? It makes it difficult to hold your remote. If you've got a giant puck in your hand, holding the remote is difficult. And while they might be really good for downhill skating, they might not be the best for electric skateboarding and just doing your regular day-to-day stuff. So let me get into something real quick here with this type of wrist guard, okay? So when you're using one of these, I'll just put it on here, they feel really secure, and for the most part they really are. Okay, but you've got a plate right here. This plate goes all the way from there to there, and the plate pushes forward. And then you've got this down here. The problem with this is there's really no shock absorption, and when you hit the ground, as you can see, I have used these quite well. I've had a few little scrapes and whatnot, but when you hit the ground, it's like a hard impact, man. And when you do that, if you ever try that, when you do, you can feel right here in your wrist. There's been talk that can actually break your wrist. Now, I've never had that happen with these types of wrist guards, but it is a possibility. And here's something that did happen to me on both of my wrists. I had a remote in this hand, and on this hand, I had a selfie stick with a GoPro on it. So when I hit, I had stuff in my hands that pushed these forward, both of these, my ring fingers, pushed them into the plate that's right here. And when that happened, I thought I broke these fingers. I had to go get x-rays on them and stuff. They both swelled up huge. It was just massive bruising and whatnot, but yeah, that is something that can happen. Those plates can push up against your fingers, might even break your fingers. All right, so now that we've gone over that, the idea with the pucks, whether it's a large puck or these small pucks like this, which this is the first time I've seen this, is that when you hit the ground, you still have a little bit of flexibility and your hand will slide forward, right? And that way you'll just slide. But if you have just one big puck right here, well, what happens is that you might end up really getting road rash on this part of your arm. That prevents that. So let's go over some of the features on here. Rubber Velcro strap gives better closure for security for your wrist. Well, yeah, so let's just put one of these on here. They're nice and snug. They fit really, really comfortably. And he's got the sizing charts on there. So with this, you can actually get this thing really, really tight and really snug on your wrist, which does give you some support to your wrist, okay? It has reflective material on here to make you visible and safe with class. So there's reflecting material there and there, well, actually right there. Neoprene flex knuckles of the fingers provide improved dexterity. Yeah, this is all neoprene that's up here, all around. But the upper on this is all neoprene on here. And then on the bottom of it, we have imitation leather, and then this right here is imitation leather with a silicone printing on it. That actually gives you extra strength and durability on that. They're super flexy, that's nice. I can't remember if this right here is the imitation leather, but this right here is goat leather. Index finger and thumb cutouts allow for optimal control of your device, remote, camera, selfie stick, etc. At first I was like, I don't know, man. I mean, do I really need that? But yeah, once I started using it, look, you get your remote in your hand, and you can actually, get the tactile feel of this and feel your remote over here as well. So that's actually kind of nice. So reinforced lower palm, wrist, and fingertips with double stitched leather. All right, so that is leather. The Mini X Pucks sliders. So yeah, these things, get a close up look at that. They're embedded in there and double stitched. I haven't crashed with these yet, but you know, if you hit, it's just boom, just like that. And this is what I was talking about. See, when you hit, instead of just sliding and then right back onto your arm, you're gonna slide and then back onto these back pucks that are right here. So pretty cool. Shock absorption technology throughout on the glove. And then on the inside of this, you've got Kevlar. It's Kevlar lined. So they're not gonna tear all the way through. So that's good, no abrasion. And that's the other thing, when you're wearing one of these, your fingers are all exposed. And when I did crash with those, my knuckles were all just totally chewed up. And the inner mesh is also very comfortable. So as we were talking, I was like, yeah, the thing is, how am I gonna hold my remote? Well, you see this little thing right here? That actually clips onto your remote, and it's hidden inside of this little pocket that's in here. There we go. See? Hides inside of there. And you can also put one of those little, you know, hand warmer heat packs inside of there. So that's pretty cool. One thing you can do also is put some really thin underglove gloves on these if it's really cold out. But even with the cold, I haven't had any problems. You know, these are actually pretty warm. Of course, you have your knuckle protection here and there, and those are silicone. I think they do the trick, and I've gone out at least 4 times without these and felt perfectly safe just wearing these. And this leash is actually stretchy, which is nice, and it just clips right onto your remote. As you can see in this video, the remote hangs just like it would from your wrist, you know, using the supplied lanyard. Flip it right up into your hand, and you can see I have full control, and it fits right in my hand, which if you had a standard sliding glove and you had a big puck right here, that wouldn't work so well. I do want to point out too that even around the fingers that are open, they're not just open so air's not flowing in there. They're I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's not elastic, but it's, well, I guess it is. It's neoprene, so it stretches right onto it. So it's nice and tight. And they come off quite easily, but you can see the thumb, it's really grabbing on there. There we go. Protective gear is one of the most important things you can have if you're going to be into electric skateboards. And these provide not only warmth, but protection. And look, I can get my remote in there no problem, and I can still finger it properly. Not to mention, when you need to grab something out of your pocket or whatever, you got your fingers and you can still do that. So yeah, typically when I ride electric skateboards or any skateboards, I've always worn the standard wrist guards, you know? I did break my wrist as a kid at the Oasis Skateboard Park in San Diego, so I've always been really cautious about that. I wasn't wearing them at the time, but yeah, probably for something like pool riding or whatever, you might want those. If you're gonna be riding the street, something like this works really, really well. I've looked at the puck stuff before, and I've heard people talk about the fact that it's better that you slide than impact, that kind of thing. But usually the ones with the puck on there, you can't even hold your remote. So these little tiny pucks, they work really well. The gloves are comfortable. They look really good. I do like that the forefinger and thumb are open, at least on this hand. What I would like to see is, like, you know, I'm left-handed or right-handed. Which hand do I hold the remote in? And you give me a full glove for this hand and a remote glove for this hand, you know what I mean, with the fingers open. Although I will say that it was nice having both of them like that, because I could pull things out of my pockets and manipulate my flannel and that kind of stuff. So I don't know, it's just something I was thinking that might be a nice addition. If you wanted it that way, it'd be cool if you could do that. I guess they've been working on a board called the Legend, I think is what it is, or Legendary. Has been something they've been in the process of working on for 2 years. And he even makes all the enclosures, the carbon fiber enclosures himself, so pretty cool. Ultimately though, he asked me if I wanted to try out these gloves, and I thought, all right, well, why not? I'll give that a try. I have not crashed with them yet, so I don't really know how well the crash protection is, but the feature set on this is really nice. That goat leather down here on your palm, and the fact that these extend down here, because when you hit, you're probably going to go like that a little bit, so you're going to be sliding on this part of it rather than this. Because I did ask him, why don't they go further up here? And he said it was more important that they're back here than up here, and you can still grab and hold onto your remote perfectly. So that's nice. It's nice to have Kevlar lining inside of here, and that little leash right here for your remote is great, because if you've ever tried to put your remote over wrist guards or gloves, you know that you're kind of working it, you got to get it on there, that kind of stuff, but that takes away that need. And the pocket doubles as a place to put a heat pad if you want to. Are they the best gloves ever? I don't really know. I mean, I haven't tested every one of them out, but these are really nice. And if you like the feature set on them, you'll probably like the gloves. So that is the Lanaite glove from XBOARD, and I want to thank you so much for your support here on the channel. Likes, comments, shares, subscriptions, always very important to my channel. It's been around since 2013. Started doing the e-mobility thing with electric skateboards, bikes, and all that kind of stuff, well, about 1.5 to 2 years ago, and I am just loving it, man. It's a huge passion for me. And that's what this channel channel's always been about. So if you like what you see, hit that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, there is a red subscribe button down there. Click that and the notification bell. Well, you'll get notifications when I upload new videos. Your support here means the world to me, and if you want to send a monetary support, there is a super thanks button down there. You can click that. I also have links down there for my social media, so if you have one of those, I'd appreciate a follow. And that's going to do it for this episode. We'll catch you next time on the Vapor Trail channel.